why don't you tell me, like, are we enjoying the Invincible Festival over here?
Yes, definitely. It's great to be a part of such a super organized Invincible festival and so much looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting us know that you are having fun over here. So, ma'am, since this is your first book, right?
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell us about this? What is it about?
So this is all about, it's a knowledge bank about how to use power of stories and how to leverage the power of storytelling at workplace, how leaders today can influence, inspire and engage their teams in a meaningful and in a relatable way. How startup founders, how entrepreneurs can actually build up their personal brand through power of stories, and how educators and teachers can use it as a teaching tool to make the classroom concepts more interesting and memorable.
That's great, ma'am. That seems like a very interesting story it's going to be, and it's going to be like learning. It's a learning book. Okay, ma'am. Is there any particular motivation and that inspiration that gives you something driving force to start writing this book?
Yes, this book happened during the pandemic, and I started writing it in 2020, and it got completed in 2021, went for publishing, and I actually celebrated the first year anniversary of my book. The inspiration behind writing this book was to attend to my calling, the inner calling that yes, I need to be back to the workforce because I took a sabbatical when my son was born, and then I upskilled myself, learned the new age futuristic skill that is storytelling, and started my journey as a corporate trainer and formed my own brand that is Katha Pachisi, the Story Bank. And this was my motivation to write my book on the niche of my area, where I can let people know that how they can have a good communication skills, how they can influence people, engage people in a very meaningful way.
That's great, and congratulations on your first year anniversary of book release. And I think like even the book looks very appealing. The cover, it must have sold like around at least 500 for 1500 copies. So, ma'am, tell me about, since it's a like self-help book, right? It's a learning book. Yeah, how is the initial preparation and the research that you have done before writing this book?
So this was a well thought after book before because I believe that writing is a very much internal process as well. And when I started working on this book, it took me back to my certification days in storytelling. Then it took me back to all the corporate trainings, all the teacher trainings which I did, so that I could write down my experiences. The questions which came after the training gave a good resource bank in this book. And other than that, my constant research, where I'm reading articles, I'm listening to TED Talks on this subject, and all the knowledge which I had during my certification days helped me to shape up this book in a very holistic manner, where people can actually learn and use stories to engage with the people, to make their message more appealing and impactful.
So, ma'am, how is life after your first year anniversary of your first book? So, how is life after that?
Life going great, and it's I would say that being an author is a very cool place to be in, and there's a lot of opportunities to network, to connect from people from different walks of life, where you're not only exchanging and networking your thoughts and ideas, but also learning is mutual. So being an author gives you kind of a thing that okay, people think that okay, you have good knowledge over the subject, over the thing which you are pursuing in life. So it's a great place to be in.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting us know. Ma'am, what is your family and friends' reaction after your first book?
So I would say everyone was surprised. Even I surprised myself that I can actually write this book. And when the book was announced on the media, then I got a lot of calls. People were surprised, but yes, they were full of happiness, and I received lot many wishes and encouraging words from the family and friends that I surprised everyone in a very pleasant manner, I would say. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. And is there any future plan of like writing a second book, or is there any project that you are working on now?
Yes, there are many projects that I have been involved in corporate sector and in NGO as well. And again, coming back with a bag full of experiences, I'm already working on the second book. So I would not say that it's half done, but yes, it's close to half done. And crossing my fingers to be back at publisher's desk with my second book.
Okay, ma'am. One question from my side, like if anyone want to buy this book, where they can find it?
They can find it on all the leading platforms like Amazon, Kindle, Flipkart, and there are many leading bookstores where the publisher, that is Invincible Publisher, has already placed this book. So there is a list of those bookstores, and of course we can use the power of virtual platforms like Amazon. So just order there, and you will have the book within 1 or 2 days.
Okay. Ma'am, like is there any particular age group and is there any particular generation that you are focusing on this book? Is there any particular audience and readers that you want to give some message to those people?
I would say that people from all walks of life can have a bit of learning from this book, because this not only caters to a particular set of people, but anyone who is working professional, a business leader, a startup founder, a parent, or an educator can leverage the power of stories and tools of storytelling to make their communications more impactful. So people from all walks of life have a lot to take away from this book, and they can use those practical tools and applications at their workplace after reading this book. So this is a kind of a very hands-on book. It not only talks about the theory behind storytelling, it also gives ready to use more than 20 stories in this book, and other than that many concepts which would help the corporate professionals to game up, to upskill their presentations and take it to the next level.
Okay, ma'am. If your readers want to connect with you, is there any social media handle that you have and you want to talk about so that they can find you and connect with you?
Definitely. Besides being an author, I am a startup founder. My startup name is Katha Pachisi, the Story Bank, and I am available on Instagram, on Facebook through these social media handles, and on LinkedIn I am there through the name of Monika Tandon, and of course I have a page, a business page in the name of Katha Pachisi, the Story Bank. So everyone is feel free to connect with me and ask me anything on this subject, and I'll be more than happy to help people to learn about the world of storytelling.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Is there any tips from your side if anyone want to start writing at like later age or a very young age, like first time writer? Is there any tips for them?
Definitely, for the first time writers, I would say that writing is like working on your writing muscle on daily basis. So start with writing small blogs, maybe small write-ups on your social media handles, and then build it up in a very strategic manner where you are daily talking about your niche. And once you're comfortable writing, then start writing. It's just being it's just all about being consistent. So you write 500 words daily, and for sure your book would be ready in next 3.5 months. So it's just about being consistent. It's just about being very authentic and very true to yourself. So writing is all about writing from heart, writing from your heart and writing from your mind. So it's a mixed thing, writing about your work experiences and creating maximum value for the readers. So it's only at the end of the day when someone really holds your book, then they should have a kind of a thing that yes, I invested my time in reading and learning something from this book. So that has to be the endeavor for the first time writer.